To be successful at anything, the truth is, you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Tom Brady. This quote I heard for the first time this morning when I was listening to the Mel Robbins book, the new book, The Let Them Theory. And she quoted Tom, like we're on a first name basis. She quoted Tom Brady. And the quote really stood out to me, and I actually bookmarked it when I was listening to the book. And then I was being interviewed this morning hi Dave, I was being interviewed this morning on a podcast. And the question was something around, basically the discussion that we were having was around why people hold themselves back. And a lot of times people are waiting for like their passion in a box or all the answers to be revealed. Like these are the 17 next steps that you take. And they look at other people's success and say, well, she's only doing it because, or he's only doing it because. And it happened to me actually when I was in my corporate job, and I told this story on the podcast this morning. After I had become the number one salesperson, somebody said that the only reason I was number one is because my husband had gotten me all of my leads. And that was like the rumor going around in the country, is that my husband had gotten me my leads and that's why I was number one. And I brought that story up because I can tell you why I was number one. I was number one because I was consistent, determined, and I was willing to work for it. Just like Tom Brady said in his quote, you don't have to be special. You don't have to have a husband that gets you your leads, which wasn't anywhere near a true story, by the way. I've never had a husband, so there's no way I could have had a husband that was getting me my leads. I was getting them myself. And I'm sure you have a lot of things in your life where you look back and people could look at the tip of the iceberg of your life and go, well, there's the tip of the iceberg. Look, and they don't see all the stuff underneath. They don't see everything that you did to be consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. And if you know that that's happened in other areas of your life, then I want you to look at your life and where you're holding yourself back right now and where you're making excuses right now, because you're probably looking at somebody else's tip of the iceberg and you're making excuses and reasons why you can't have it because they are something else or had other resources or advantages. And you're making it be the reason why you can't or you don't or you won't. But I know for a fact you can look back at your life and know that there were times where you were consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. You were willing to do the things that others aren't. And that's why you created in your life. And there's somewhere in your life right now that exact same scenario is playing out. Where are you not showing up the way that you know you want to? Because you've made excuses why it worked out for somebody else. When really it comes down to, are you willing to do what others aren't? Be consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. And that is our quote and our thought of the day.